Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
From the Daily Oz, she is the editor, Emma Gillespie.
Hello. Well, Kate is back. Princess Catherine, her first public royal duty since her cancer diagnosis. Did we see the images? Mm-hmm. Beautiful Kate on the balcony. We had the Trooping the Colour over the weekend, which is the King's birthday weekend, sort of big display of pageantry, a military parade. But it was the Princess of Wales' first public appearance since that diagnosis earlier this year. She appeared in public last in December. Then there was the whole rigmarole and controversy and conspiracies over where she'd gone, what had happened to her after that stomach surgery. She disclosed in March that she was undergoing chemo. And this is actually the first time that both senior royals in the British royal family, Charles and Catherine, have been seen alongside each other because, of course, he's dealing with his own cancer diagnosis. So the response has been, largely that this was a show of stability by the monarchy, lots of fanfare, lots of crowds applauding.
The crowds love seeing Kate well.
They loved seeing her. And she did look really well. It has
she
to be
did.
said. She was glowing.
She said she's still not out of the woods. It's preemptive chemo, she has said.
Yes.
What does that mean?
We still don't know very much about her diagnosis. Kensington Palace haven't said what type of cancer it is. And you're right, Amanda, when she was public with the diagnosis, it was just that it was preventative chemotherapy. That's all we know, and that she had a stomach surgery. So very, very vague on the details, and I don't think we'll be getting any specifics for a long time to come.
Does this mean she's back on the royal circuit?
Well, she did warn that she's not out of the woods. So there was a statement on Friday ahead of this parade that she was participating in, sort of giving an update. She said, I'm making good progress, but as anyone going through chemo will know, there are good days and bad days. I'm not out of the woods yet. She sort of flagged that, while she was going to be participating this weekend in royal duties, it wasn't necessarily a return to form. So she's not going to be hitting the ground running again, but maybe we'll start to see a little bit more of her.
I think people were relieved just to see how well she was doing. Exactly. I saw that the Daily Telegraph, or the Telegraph in England, wrote an article that said, when lesser mortals would have stayed at home, Catherine proved that the show goes on. And people have reacted very badly to that. People are saying, I had to get 3 trains to hospital to have my chemo, which I pay for. 6 months of misery. I worked every night. I hope Kate makes a speedy recovery, but lesser mortals, how dare you? And someone else saying, I'm going through chemo, still working, parenting, doing the housework, making the tea. I'm sick, I'm in pain, worried about finances. I'm glad Kate felt well enough to attend, but that journalist can beep right off.
I think when you use terms like that.
Yes, and Kate would have hated that, I'd imagine.
Oh, I'm sure
she's now relating hugely to everyone who's going through a similar ordeal.
Yeah, and I think that speaks to maybe the problematic nature of the palace being so private on the details. I completely understand. She's a mum, she's got her family, she's living her life, she's going through something horrific. I understand why they don't want to tell us the ins and outs. But at the same time, if you're going to compare her to, everybody else in the world who's dealing with unthinkable treatments, when we don't know the specifics and that she is sort of reappearing and looking so well, she looked beautiful. And of course, she's got a whole team around her who help her look that gorgeous.
Save it for lesser mortals when they come to work with a hangover.
Yeah.
That's, lesser mortals.
No one applauds us, Brendan.
I
when
showed
we turn
up today.
Yeah.
But I just wonder if that might make people feel a little bit better. If, you're going through chemo and thinking, God, I couldn't do what she's doing. But if you knew her treatment or what
if you're working in a box factory or you're working on a building site and you're getting chemo treatment, I would imagine it's quite easy to cut a ribbon as opposed to lay a thing of bricks or something.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see kind of what happens next with her treatment, whether we hear any details or not. But I think that outpouring would exactly have upset Kate to see that commentary has emerged. Charles, on the other hand, is also being treated for an undisclosed form of cancer. He looked well, but I think he looks like he's aged a lot in the last 6 months.
I feel for him. His mum kind of chopped him off at the knees because her waiting till she passed away said that she didn't trust him, even though that may not be the truth. That's how it's played out. So he's come into the role of his life as a man who's nearly 80.
What a pain. That's the worst thing. I've been waiting for this for years.
Yeah, waiting 70 plus years
and now
to do the thing he was born to do. He travelled in a carriage. Normally when he does this Trooping the Colour birthday weekend thing, he's on a horse. He was on a horse last year, but he was in a carriage this year. So we're not really sure how he's going, but he's eased back into more public duties. He attended the 80th anniversary D-Day.
How's his fingers going? That's the thing. If it's finger watch.
I did zoom in on the fingers.
All right?
They looked all right.
Okay, so then I think that's the...
Dare I say they looked a little less swollen,
A little less sausagey.
a little less chorizo than normal, which has to be a good sign.
Chorizo watch happening now. Em, thank you.
Thank you.
Check her out at the Daily Oz